All right, welcome back. So we're going to continue our exploration of our daily tefillot. We're discussing the bracha Hashem Lakeinu Machlam Rokע Haaretz al Hamayim. The God, thank you so much, who spreads out the earth on the water. What is that all about? What is the meaning behind this bracha? So the Gemara in Brachas Taf Samech Amud Bet teaches Kinachet la'ara lema. When your feet hit the ground after you've just stood up, you should say Baruch Rokע Haaretz al Hamayim. You should say, blessed is the one who puts the earth on the water. Seems like a very esoteric language here. What are we referring to? So the Gemara is actually referring back to a Tehillim, Kapitel 136, one we say every Shabbos morning. And Tehillim, we're recounting the story of creation. And David HaMelech writes, Hodu Hashem ki tov ki le'olam chasto. They'll say, Hashemayim mitvuna ki le'olam chasto. To the God who created the heavens, for his kindness is forever. Rokע Haaretz al Hamayim ki le'olam chasto. Ay, ay, ay. To the one who spreads out the earth on the water, for his kindness is forever. So we are referencing this Tehillim, which is describing the creation of the world and how God flattened the earth upon the water. Interestingly enough, this language of rakia, the firmament, as the article translates, the separation between the waters above and the waters below, that comes up in the context of the second day of creation. We don't, as far as I know, see it come up in the context of the third day of creation, which is what we're talking about, the separation of the waters and the emergence of the land in the Chumash. But in Tehillim, we are using this language of Rokع Haaretz al Hamayim, separating the earth upon the waters, creating a border, a reka, modern Hebrew, background of the earth upon the water. So what's the meaning behind all of this? So, as I just alluded to, it appears we're talking about the third day of creation. We're thanking God for the miracle that happened on the third day of creation. What happened? So explains both the Abu Draham and afterwards the Lavush. So I'll just say it in the language of the Lavush. Lavush was Mordechai Yafi, who was a great Polish rabbi, and he wrote the Lavush Malchus in the 16th century. And he writes about the minhagim of the Jewish people, of the Ashkenazim in particular. It was often quoted. And he writes like this. When you put your feet on the ground, you should say, thank God, wow, that you placed the earth on the mayim. To praise Hashem, Rokع Haaretz al Hamayim, hefech tivo. God did a miracle on the third day of creation. He did the opposite of the natural thing. So that, because on the third day of creation, in Genesis 1:9, the Torah describes how Hashem separated the waters and the earth emerged. And naturally, since water is lighter than earth, the waters should have overwhelmed the earth and it went over the entire earth. But if the waters would have went on the world, we wouldn't have had space to exist. He changed nature, he made a miracle, and placed the earth on water, so we can exist. So we're thanking Hashem every day on this miracle. It's a miracle we would have overlooked. We wouldn't be thinking about this every day. Who knows what we'd be thinking about? Taxes, the Knicks game, who knows? But thank God, this is one of those miracles which we would have missed. That when we, on that third day of creation, the waters didn't overwhelm the world. Somehow, God made space for the earth to exist. So that is what, according to Lavush, the Mudram and others, we are thanking God for every single day. Now, on a related note, Sir Isaac Newton discovered in 1666, when the apple fell from the tree, the laws of gravity, which is amazing that we don't float up into the sky like in the moon, but we have the gravity, which again is a secondary thing to think about. The miracle that I can stand on the ground and feel like I'm not floating above because the miracle of gravity. I don't know how gravity works, but you can ask your scientific friends, and it's definitely amazing and wow, and not something to be taken for granted. So that's a second miracle to think about every single day. Now, let's get a little Chassidic now. The Imri Emes quotes his father, the Sfas Emes. Imri Emes is a great Chassidic Rebbe living in the 19th century. Actually, eventually made his way to Eretz Israel, if I'm not mistaken, and is buried by the Shuk. Yes, I just led a tour there, and he has an amazing work on Tfillah. So let's learn what his take on what we should be thinking about every day when we say Rokea Haaretz al Hamayim is. Akol b'cheskat sumin ad shekadosh baruch hu me'ir eneim. Everyone is blind until Hashem opens up our eyes. Shenemar ve'ivkach Elokim et einea v'ter tara be'er mayim. Hagar opens up her eyes and she sees a be'er full of water. Loki tiv shenivra be'er mayim. It doesn't say it was created water. She opened up her eyes and she saw the be'er, the well, that was already there. And she was able to bring drink to her son, Yishmael. Everything we need is already there. Because God's greatness is unbelievable. But our physical eyes stop us. That we're not able to see. Hamayim tachat raglei Yisrael. The waters beneath the feet of Israel. If we would get away our hergelim, our habits, and our earthiness, we'd be able to see the waters which are above. The waters the Midrash teaches represent Hashem and Torah. And so I think what the Sfas Emes is teaching was every day if we remove the earthy layer of our eyes, we close our eyes like in Shema Yisrael, we can connect to Hashem, we can have answers to our issues by recognizing that Hashem runs the world, and that recognition of Ein Od Milvado will lead us to clarity, to see the waters that we thought that we didn't know were there, just as Hagar discovered that. So Rokea Haaretz al Hamayim is reminding us that just beneath the surface is Hashem, is the waters, is clarity, and we just need to remind ourselves that Hashem is always there, as Uncle Moshe and the Sfas Emes teaches. One more beautiful idea from the Noam Elimelech. The Noam Elimelech, also a Chassidic great, the Rebbe Melech from Lezhinsk in Poland, and someone who my great ancestor, Kleinmes Kalman, more of a Shemesh always quotes. He says a beautiful idea. Yisod hamayim umamshich et adam lavodat habore. Water brings a person to serving Hashem. V'nim sazeh chesed el al adam shemeshaber koach tavato. And there's a great kindness, and when you break your taivas, umagbir yisod hamayim al afar, and the water, and what that represents, goes over earthliness. Zeh l'rokea haaretz al hamayim, and that's who places the earth on the water. Perish Rokea ulashon chizuk. He strengthens the earth on the water, which means earth is stronger than water. And it naturally would bring us to desires. But when you break your taivas, Af shekash alav mod, even though they're very hard. Chasadim dolim ba'im alav. And then the great kindnesses come upon you. As it says, Ki olam chasto. So I think what the Rebbe is saying is that when you break our earthliness and our physical desires, like we saw in the Parsha, when we get too obsessed with the kivras hataiva of the physical desires, we're in trouble. But if we break those desires which are leading us away from avodas Hashem, we tap in to the waters of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's something I experience often, especially on Erev Shabbos. I find that when I don't eat too much on Erev Shabbos, I keep it to drinks, and not heavy food. The kindness of Hashem is just, I feel it much more in my Friday night davening. When, as Chassidic masters explain, we only have enough space. Either we put our taivas into Gashmi taivas, or our taivas go to Ruchni, spiritual desires. When we break our taivas, then we have much more space in our consciousness to experience the kindness of Kadosh Baruch Hu. I was reading a book yesterday, and there was Yisrael Harel, who was a settler, and he did a hunger fast to try to force Menachem Begin, the prime minister, to fulfill his promise to build the settlements. And he said he just, after a few days of just drinking water, he just had such amazing clarity. And actually many people who have long-term fasting experience, after they break their taivas, they have this clarity. Maybe you experienced it on the end of Yom Kippur a little bit. So that was just parenthetically. One more perspective on a psychological level. You wake up in the morning, and God Zokif Kufimim wakes us up, and you feel good even if you were broken on the night before. And then you put your feet on the ground, and you feel, thank God, I have earth below me. And think about all those things that are solid in our lives. Our family, our values, our relationship with Hashem, our self-worth, whatever it is, those are all things to be thankful for every single morning if we want to go a little psychological. So just some practical meditations to sum up our shiur for today. When you wake up in the morning, before you put your feet on the ground, imagine the world would just be floating with lava of water. It would be a pretty scary world, right? Imagine an earthquake. So thank God that it's solid. Remember the third day of creation when the waters miraculously didn't overflow the earth. Remind ourselves that the presence of Hashem is right beneath the surface. If we just close our eyes, feel close to Hashem. And remind ourselves, when we say this bracha, to break our earthly desires, to tap into the waters of spirituality below. I hope you enjoyed our venture into this bracha. I hope you share it with others, and I hope you continue to listen to these shiurim, exploring the depth of our daily siddur. Have a great day. Da 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 da.